This is the second Mazda CX-60 that I've reviewed in recent months. And the first one, well, it wasn't exactly glowing. You see, the engine I felt was underpowered, even though the rest of the package was really good. Mazda, though, have listened to their South African clients and brought in this, the 3.3-litre inline 6 mild hybrid. And today, we're going to find out if they fixed the problem.
The one thing that we could never fault on the CX-60 were those looks. Those swooping lines, the proportions, and it's just such an elegant looking car. It certainly does look like it'll fit in well side by side with more luxurious SUVs.
So, of course, the entire conversation around this car is about that engine. So let's put it to the test immediately and find a nice piece of deserted, twisty road and just floor it. See what happens. There we go. And that is pleasantly surprising. And this is kind of why I liked the other version as much as I did, and didn't like the fact that the engine didn't suit the car, whereas this one, it really does. So, let's start with the interior of the car and get the negatives out of the way. The center console over here is a little bit shallow for my liking, especially considering how big this car is. I was expecting a little bit more over there. And this panel on the side here is a little bit plasticky, but that's it. Everything else in here feels pretty good. You've got the adaptive cruise control over here that controls a very good system. But interestingly, Mazda deactivates the adaptive cruise control once you're coming to a stop. So it's a little bit unnerving when all of a sudden the computer disconnects and now you're left to drive the car on your own. But Mazda's philosophy behind this is that the driver should be driving the car. And that's another reason why this is not a touchscreen. It's controlled by this little toggle over here. Tootling around at about 50 kilometers an hour, and it's very quiet in here. The diesel engine chattering around quietly in the background. It is, however, a little bit noisy when you put your foot down, but not in a bad way. Fuel consumption is rated very low, and Mazda claims between 4 and 5 liters per 100 depending on how you're driving, which by all accounts is not bad, and again, another reason in this climate to buy diesel. It also has lane keep assist, which I don't think is the best in the market by a stretch. It warns me a little bit too late. It's not intrusive like other systems, but I do wish it would keep the car more in the middle of the lane versus letting me know that I'm already at or over the lane. Power is rated at 187 kilowatts and 550 newtons. Yeah, 187 and 550. That is a lot for a Mazda. But I do think when you overtake, there is a slight delay from the engine and gearbox. But once it gets going, it really does go. Jeez.
The spec difference between these two models is extensive, and so is the price difference, 204,000 to be exact, which puts the Akira on an eye-watering 1.049 million rand, or 1,049,200 to be specific.
So, in a world where many cars in this SUV segment are, frankly, quite vanilla, this little spicy meatball has, I think, separated itself from the herd in some ways. I do like this car a lot. And I think finally with this engine, the package has become cohesive and, dare I say, complete. The CX-60 Takumi is at the very least worth a test drive.